Hi everyone, welcome to Carrie's Culinary Crafts. And if you're new, welcome. I hope you'll join us here at Carrie's Culinary Crafts. We talk all things food. And today, or this weekend, I just have a whole bunch of prep work that I want to get done. I have a whole to-do list. I don't know if I'm going to get it all done. I seem to be overconfident in the things that I think I can get done in a day. So, but I have 2 days, but you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. This week, I grabbed a bunch of butter from my deep freezer down there, and I grabbed some hot dogs and some smoked sausages and some ground sausage. So these are for a few things that I will be doing in the next couple of days. Some of it today you will see, and some of it is going to be later. This first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my 5-minute pie crust. I am out of them that I normally stick in my freezer, and what I do is I usually make several of them, and then I put them in the freezer individually. And then anytime that I need a pie crust, I can just go down there and grab it. Each one that I'm doing, I do it one at a time, just makes it easier. Each one makes one pie crust. So if you need something that needs 2 pie crusts, then you need to grab 2 of them whenever you take them out of the freezer. I use pie crusts a lot. I use pie crusts for like breakfast quiches. I use pie crusts for pies. I use pie crust for pot pies, which is one of the things that I often do in our menu. And I make all different kinds of pot pies, but I always like to have crusts in there in case I want to make a crusted pot pie. So today I'm going to go ahead and make a bunch of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to make like 5, maybe 6 of them. I'm going to show you the first one. This recipe is super easy, and it's a no-fail recipe. Once I tried this recipe, I never went to any other recipe because it is so simple. I do it in the food processor, and what I use, I have frozen butter sticks here. I pulled these straight from the freezer, so they are really, really cold. So I will need, for this pie crust, I'm going to need 2 sticks of butter. I'm going to need 1 tablespoon of sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 cups of flour, and then I'm going to need 1/4 to 1/2 cup of cold ice water. So I put 1/2 cup in here, added ice, and we'll just see how much we need. I'll put in the 1/4 cup, and then if I need more, I'll just drizzle in like a tablespoon at a time until the dough comes together. So we're going to put everything in the food processor and then pulse it up, and then we're going to have pie crusts. So, okay, like I said, I'm going to do several of them, but I will give you real time on the first one so you can see how quickly it comes together. Okay, so here we go. 2 sticks of butter. Okay, so it's easiest just to put the butter in first and then put it in the food processor to grind it up into small pieces. 1 tablespoon sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 2.5 cups of flour. This is just an all-purpose flour. And to start with, 1/4 cup of cold ice water. Pulse this up. Okay. And this looks good. See how it's just clumping together in big clumps? Okay, so that looks really good. Now I'm just going to pull this out on a floured surface. Don't need that much. And I'm just pushing this together. Okay, so that's what we're looking for, a nice round disc. And then I'm going to double wrap it in saran wrap. Do you need something?
I need to clean this off.
Oh. Just give me a minute, please.
Slow down.
And that's it. Then I'm going to do several more of these, and then I will put them inside of a gallon plastic bag, and then I'll stick them in the freezer. Okay, so I have 5 pie crusts here. I am going to put one of them in the refrigerator because I will be using it. And the other 4 are going into my freezer. All right, I am going to clean up here, reset my kitchen, and then I'll bring you back for the next item. Okay, I got the kitchen cleaned up from that mess, and now I'm just creating another mess. We are going to do some protein energy bites. My son has started back into track and baseball, and these are just a perfect thing for him to grab 1 or 2 and give him that little bit of energy that he needs to continue on. So I am going to make a double batch of these, and these you can keep in the refrigerator. They will keep for a very long time. I probably am going to keep half in the refrigerator, and then the other half I'm going to go ahead and put in the freezer. They freeze really well. So with this recipe, what I'm using, I have many different protein energy ball recipes. Now this one, as my sweetener that I am actually using these Majol dates. Here, that is going to be my sweetener. So I'm using 2 cups of these because I'm doubling the recipe. And then I'm using 2 cups of rolled oats, 1/2 cup of flaxseed, 1/4 cup of chia seeds, 1 cup of peanut butter. I have some all natural peanut butter here. I'm going to need 1/4 cup, no, 1/2 cup of protein powder. You can do any kind of protein powder that you'd like. This one here is just a plain non-flavored protein powder. And 2 teaspoons of vanilla. And then I'm going to use the rest of these chocolate chips that I have. These are Lily's no sugar added chocolate chips. I probably have maybe 1/2 cup in there, which is what I needed for this recipe. Now you can go ahead and put these all in a bowl and stir it up. But just to help me out and make my life easier, I am going to put everything in the food processor. And I'm going to start with the dates first because I want to go ahead and get those all chopped up. So chopped up and made it kind of into a paste. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 2 cups of rolled oats, my 1/2 cup of flaxseed, 1/4 cup of chia seeds, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then about 1 cup of peanut butter. Okay, and we will go ahead and get this nice and mixed up. about the protein powder? It's kind of the whole purpose of me making these is for this protein powder. I'm going to add a little bit more peanut butter. It needs a little bit of a little more liquid. It looks a little dry. Okay. It does come together when you squeeze it, but it's very crumbly. So I am going to go ahead and add the rest of this peanut butter that's in here, which isn't that much. Okay, jar of peanut butter done. And I am going to put the rest of these dates in there as well. There's only a few, so I can get it out of my pantry. Made a mess, peanut butter all over it. It ain't cooking if you don't make a mess. All right, let's take. And here, this is a perfect consistency. You can easily put it into a ball. It'll give me more energy for my prep today. Yum. I'm gonna have a hard time with my hand, so I'm just gonna put those in there and just give it a quick pulse. Three more things out of my pantry. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and take these and squeeze them into a ball. And then put them on this parchment lined paper. Okay, there we go. Now I am going to stick these in the refrigerator just for maybe about a half hour or an hour and let them harden up a little bit. And then I will put some in a container. You want to put them in an airtight container. You can leave them out or you can put them in the refrigerator, it doesn't matter. But the other half I'm going to go ahead and put in a freezer bag and stick them in the freezer, and then I'll just take them out whenever we need them. Okay, so that is some quick protein energy bites for you. Peanut butter chocolate. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and make some egg salad for my family. I have about a dozen or maybe a little more eggs here, and I'm going to go ahead and mash these up. Now this is just a basic egg salad. I am just going to be adding some salt, pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and I believe I am going to chop up some onion and put in there as well. Oh yes, it's garlic powder and mustard powder, not onion powder, because I'm adding chopped onion into this. And then I will go ahead and add some mayonnaise, which today I am going to add two different kinds of mayonnaise. One, I'm going to add a chipotle mayo, and half of regular mayo, just to give a little different flavor for the egg salad today. Okay, now I'm just going to go ahead and do some veggie prep. I just got a big grocery haul, so I am just prepping some of the veggies that I got. This is some celery that I clean and chop up for my husband. And then once I do the celery, then I have some carrots that I'm going to go ahead and chop up. Now, the majority of the celery is going into a container for my husband's snack celery, but then there's another container that I'm going to put in some celery, some carrots, and the onion, and then that way that is prepped and ready for me to use in cooking this week. Okay, here I'm gonna go ahead and prep some lettuce and some spinach just to make it a quick salad for me to be able to reach in and grab and the container. So I have some romaine lettuce here. I am going to wash this really good and cut it up, and then I have some spinach that I will be adding as well, and I'm just going to add layers into a big container and mix it all up, and then I will have a ready to go salad for any time that we need a side salad meal or if we're having a meal salad. And I will mix some carrots as well as some celery in with this lettuce. So it's ready to go, and all I have to do is add whatever toppings I want to add and whatever dressing. Okay, now here is where I put some celery into a glass dish here, and I am going to peel and wash some carrots. And I have one fresh onion left in that basket right there hanging above my sink. So I'm going to cut that up, and then that way I will have carrots, celery, and onions all prepped and ready if I need it for dinner this week. It'll all be ready to go. Hi friends, I'm going to go ahead and make some lower carb bread. It's not a no carb bread, it's a lower carb bread. And I thought I'd bring you along with me just because I'm using some different ingredients, not just your standard ingredients that you use to make bread. So we're going to see together if this works or not. I don't know, but we will see. The first thing is, in my refrigerator, I had a little bit of this sweetened vanilla almond milk. I wanted to use it up, and normally I'll put this in pancakes or something like that, but I'm not using it, making any pancakes in at least until next weekend, because usually I'll do that on a weekend when my son is home from college, because he loves pancakes for breakfast. But I had a little over a cup of that left, and I heated this in the microwave to the right temperature. So I'm going to go ahead and put my yeast in the bread maker along with this warm sweetened vanilla almond milk. And since this almond milk is sweetened, I am not going to put any honey in it. I usually put some sweetener in it, and lately I've been using honey. So I'm not going to add any sweetener since there was some in this vanilla almond milk. So I'm going to see how it tastes like, if it's kind of like a sweet bread or not. I don't know. It's a good experiment. We shall see. All right, so immediately I can see that my yeast is nice and bubbly already. So I'm going to go ahead and dump everything else in. I have 2 tablespoons of butter here. You can use any type of fat at all. You can use lard, you can use oil, you can use butter. I am using butter. So you need 2 tablespoons of that. And then we're going to go in with the flour. Now with a regular white bread, you would just use your, bread flour, your or all-purpose flour, whichever you want to use up. This is a 2-cup measuring cup. So I'm doing half regular bread flour. And then I'm going to do the other half in almond flour. You know what? And I'll use this cup. Okay, there we have our 2 cups of almond flour. And then we put in like a 1/4 teaspoon, half a teaspoon of salt. And that's it. And then I'm going to put it in my bread machine, and I'm just going to put this on the dough cycle. So I am still going to bake it on my own, but this is saving me from using my hands. And I absolutely love that purpose of it, so I might not even go back to using my hands anymore. We shall see. But I'm going to go ahead and put this on the dough cycle for my machine here. It is number 7. And hit the start button. And this will do all of the kneading, and it will do the first rise. And when it is done, it'll beep, and then it'll be time for me to take it out, punch it down, and then roll it up and put it into my Pullman loaf pan here and get it in the oven. And we will bake it at 350 degrees for 30 minutes.